Eating at the staff show apparently. Yeah, we are.
It's the order, we please stand for the presentation. Forward, march.
Guard. Hold. Left. Face. Raise it. Colors. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Carry. Colors. Right. Face. Forward. March.
Please take attendance. Here.
Mr. Moses.
Here.
Mr. Green.
Here.
Mr. Sacks.
Here.
Here.
So today, we are going to welcome our student Congress representative, Madison Reiterman. She's coming from Invergrove High School, and we're going to give her the oath of office to join us on the board. She'll be giving us the student updates each month when she joins us. So welcome, Madison. If you want to rise. Raise your right hand. I, Madison Reiterman.
I, Madison,
Solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and to faithfully discharge the duties of the office of student board member,
and to faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of student board member
duties of office of student board member
in and for the school district of Anchor Bay
and through the school district of East Bay,
in the state of Michigan according to the best of my ability.
in the state of Michigan, according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Welcome.
We're gonna do it through.
Some of us got dressed up for the fair. So this will be a picture of Madison shares forever. Tall.
Thank you.
That's it. Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Okay, and Madison is going to give us the student congress updates.
Good evening, thank you for this opportunity. It is my pleasure to serve as the Student Congress Board of Education representative. Today we held our monthly meeting with the building representatives. We worked on holiday cards, insurance, and we were able to write out 66 holiday cards that will be sent to deployed citizens. Student Congress is sponsoring a Toys for Tots campaign and with new unwrapped toys, and they can be dropped off at the high school, both middle schools, and here at the administration offices. We would appreciate the support of the Incubate School community and any donations are appreciated. I'd like to share with you some events taking place within our buildings. All the elementary buildings are collecting donations for the Watermark Church in coordination with other local organizations to provide a Christmas for disadvantaged families in the area. On December 11th, by invite only, these families will have a chance to enjoy a Christmas coming event. At Ashley, they are hosting the first ever turkey trot fundraiser. At Mildred, after Halloween, we held a candy drive and the candy was donated to the local better housing complex. And this week was a spirit week for them, each day having a theme like Crazy Sock Day, Man Day, and Kindness Day. At Lighthouse, they're doing a Santa hat donation drive to help a deserving member of the Incubate community, and the Santa shop is opening soon. At Great Oaks, Student Congress has their bulletin boards and they have busy decorating those. LeConce is hosting a penny war with the winning class game pizza party, and students can dress up for Thanksgiving. At Middle School North, they are opening a school store that will be named the Captain Quarters. Buddy grams are being sold and delivered during first and second hour of November 23rd. And NJHS is selling gobble grams at lunchtime. Middle School South, NJHS had their first meeting, and students were agreed on Wednesdays in November to express gratitude. The high school held a camp food drive that ended today with donations for the St. Mary's Food Pantry. They have a thankful turkey in the comments area that students can write messages of gratitude on a feather and add to the turkey. NHS is sponsoring a lending library. The boys varsity soccer team finished an awesome season after advancing to state championship in second place. Football finished the season as Mac White co-champs. Volleyball finished the season as Mac Red co-champs. Swim team earned Mac White dual and division champs. And Riley Walsh and Veronica Markwood will be competing on Friday and Saturday in Holland at the State Swim and Dive State Championship. And winter sport trials are in progress.
Thank you. We had on our agenda, we're going to introduce the new high school resource officer. However, could not be here tonight, so we will add that to next month's agenda. So we'll move on to approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? I will second. All in favor? All opposed? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Item F, you have Sugar Bush Chesterfield here for township to talk about Sugar Bush Elementary. I just want to make sure we're clear on the history on that, is that both buildings were not had K-5 programs at all. And you're only utilizing half the building. That's not to say that the other half is empty. You had other programs in those spaces, whether it's the autistic program, the ISD or the CSC programs. So when we consolidated, it helped save district money because not only has everyone principal and one cafeteria, but that didn't leave the Chesterfield Elementary building, Sugar Bush, empty, because those programs that were half filling the buildings, the K-5, had to have a house, had to have a home also. So when we consolidated K-5 and Naldred, then programs that were half full at Naldred, half full at Sugar Bush occupied space. Now it's not occupying all the space, because you're not utilizing probably the gym or the multi-purpose room. But I just want to make sure it's clear that when we decided to consolidate, that there wasn't enough, that when we consolidated, there's not an empty building sitting over at Sugar Bush. We've got incomplete programs there, and that's kind of the plan. So I don't know what's going on. You know, we've talked a bit about it, but I don't remember anybody, at least coming to the board and asking whether that space needs to be sold or leased. So I don't quite understand how it's my main item on the agenda, but it is there. Clearly, the board never voted to say that we were ready to lease or authorize the administration to either sell or lease that property. I know we spent a lot of time on the aquatic center, Chesterfield with Sugar Bush. We never discussed as a board whether we wanted to lease or sell that. But we'll hear from Chesterfield today. But I just want to make sure it's clear that it wasn't at Sugar Bush. This isn't sitting there empty. There's incubate programs there, and certainly if we can come up with a partnership on that, we find that, I just want to make sure from the public standpoint that when we consolidate, we still have an empty building. So I just want to clarify.
Okay, any other comments? All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Motion to the superintendent update.
The update has been the case for the past several months of COVID. Cases have been steady in the district. It's been less than 1% on a weekly basis. However, if you look at the county numbers, those have gone up considerably. Primarily, the growth in the cases have been ages. We had our meeting today with the health department. They said it's ages 30 to 39, 10 to 19, primarily older college level kids. And it's really a reflection of the vaccination rates. So what they're seeing in the hotspots in the county tend to follow where vaccination rates are lower. And countywide, adults, it's about 60% vaccinated. Ages 16 to 19, it's just shy of 50%. And then 12 through 16, it's up to 35%. Your slide through 11 are already through 5%. That's fully vaccinated and the full series. District-wide, our vaccination rate is high for adults up to 75%. So that's why I think we're not seeing it, but we are expecting that the numbers will probably climb, especially after Thanksgiving, because now we don't have college students will come home and families will be gathering, and so we expect to see that go up a little bit. The part of the conversation today was that the state is now moving into the pandemic to the endemic level, where they're looking at this is something that they know. The conversation was basically everybody can be vaccinated ages 5 and up, and if that's not changing, so they're pretty much out the health departments. Like, this is what it's going to mean. So they envision probably in short order moving towards something where it's going to be really like the flu on a daily basis, because this is the same virus as the common cold. So we don't see like a flu shot every year, and that's basically would be advised to get. We have started testing at the Aquatic Center. This is mainly keeping with their promise when they changed the quarantine, where students test to stay. So they have 3 options for quarantine. They can take the full 10-day quarantine. They can test after day 5 and return after day 7, or they can test for 7 consecutive days and remain in school. So that's being provided at the Aquatic Center. There's been no positive cases so far, which is typically what we've been seeing so far out of quarantines. Typically, it's 98% of the people that are a close contact never develop COVID, and really it's a proactive way in order to get us ready should the OSHA mandate go through, and we have to do regular testing under that order. So far, so good. We've been making adjustments. I know we've had some people that use the Aquatic Center have offered suggestions, so we've taken those into account and adjusting things. And so it seems to be, we're getting a lot of positive feedback from people, but we do have some people that are just concerned with people who could potentially open the building, but we're limiting contact as much as possible in order to prevent any unnecessary contact with close contact.
Okay, thank you. We'll open up for a hearing of the public. I do not have any submissions for anybody to speak tonight. Oh. That's okay, come on up.
Where would you like it?
Over at the podium, please.
Hi, my name is.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
If you could just state your name clearly and if you're willing, your address for records, please.
Hi, my name is David Wagner. I'm resident of Chesapeake Township. I'm also an executive director of a nonprofit called Life Skills Science. We provide services with those with intellectual developmental disabilities. I noticed on the agenda that the Sugar Bush Elementary item was on there, so I wanted to come here and say, we currently lease space at New Haven's old elementary school, 26 near North Avenue, and it's a really great arrangement for us. And I wanted to just approach and say I can provide my business card, something like that, because we would be interested in this space at Sugar Bush Elementary as well. We're looking to put a location, physical space in this area. So if partnerships or things like that are something you're looking for, that's something we're also interested in.
Great. If you have a business card, I would be happy to take one. Thank you. I'm not seeing any others. So we'll move on to Chesterfield Township is going to present, as we discussed, Sugar Bush Elementary and their vision that they'd like us to consider. They have a presentation, so because it's up on the screen, we were asked if we would move over to the table so we can see. You guys might be able to see. We'll do that.
Good evening, my,
We're gonna move down.
Okay.
We're gonna go down there so we can see.
just a few words before you move. I just want to make sure this, we were invited here for proposals, so, it's really not, it's an invite that we've taken up the request. Okay? So number one, thank you. This is a discussion that was brought up prior to, again, my name is Brad Kirsten, I'm the Chesterfield Township Supervisor, and this idea kind of floated out previous to me taking over in July. So with that being said, when this conversation initially started, we looked at it as an opportunity also for Chesterfield Township. And we just have some very high level ideas that I think Mr. Middlestadt spoke to. This is really about a partnership. This isn't about forcing or not working together. So that being said, Josh is our facilities manager for the township, and we've got just a few quick slides of some ideas that we've come up with. So Josh, please.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to go through a couple quick slides, as Supervisor Kirsten mentioned. So just to touch on some points he made, once we were aware there was some conversation about Sugar Bush, we were already searching for rec space. We were just about every rec facility locally in the state, also looking at Farmington Hills, where they put together that law, where they transformed the high school into a rec facility. So we were already exploring rec options. It's one of the things we lack in the township. We know going into this, if you're familiar with Chesterfield, we really have a youth center as our only option, which is way underserved for us. So we were already exploring options when the Sugar Bush discussion started. So internally, we started developing some documents just to discuss internally, and that's all I'm going to do is share those documents that we developed internally with you, and we can have a conversation. So this first slide is just really the school as it sits. This next slide, if this is turn. Sorry. This next slide was a discussion we were having about Sugar Bush at a high level if it came up for a purchase option. You know, there's purchase, there's lease, there's partnership, there's every option possible. So we're going to go through the purchase option and the lease option. With the purchase option, we were discussing originally, it was really about a partnership with the library. The library was looking for some additional space. You can see that area in blue almost represents the size of the library that they were proposing with their village. But we thought if we could collaborate with the library and take the building and split it between the library and the rec center. The way the building's set up with that split down the middle works really well. And I know growing up in the area, and having two kids at 10-acre bay, myself, I was thinking this is a great opportunity because we got, when one of my kids is playing basketball, the other one is studying in the library. So it was just a community effort and starting the discussion in our office about different possible options. So that was the first thing that was discussed. The second thing we discussed, after looking at it, was a lease shared space option. As Mr. Middlestat touched on earlier, you know, you're using a portion of the school, but you're not using the whole school. And this part of the school you're not using is really beneficial for us. Those areas in green, we were just looking internally how we program. So the area in red to the left is, I believe, what Anchor Bay kind of occupies now. And the areas to the right, we were looking internally how our district services department would occupy those spaces and what programming we could have. Right now, currently in our Chesterfield Township offices, Supervisor Thurston, in the next couple of months, we're going through a huge renovation and architectural study of our whole building. We're packed in some areas. And our Parks and Rec and Senior Center, we have 4 people in one office. So we are in immediate need to occupy some space for rec space. So the thought on this slide was, hey, maybe while we figure this out, the school board goes through their process, we go through ours, maybe we could share some space. And maybe while we share space, that area in the blue in the center, maybe the library wants to run a satellite office, so we can all figure out how the space works, spend a couple of years developing a plan, sit down, discuss it, and either part ways or go in different directions, we don't know. But we were tasked with coming up with options that made sense. So these were the first 2 options that we came up with internally. We just wanted to share those slides. This last slide, I think Supervisor Thurston can touch on it. You can't really see it, but that white box all the way to the left represents Sugar Bush Elementary. And then, you know, middle school south is just above, and that yellow line is a pathway that Supervisor Thurston, we were talking about putting in. We actually purchased that property behind the ball diamonds going out. So you'll see what we're trying to do, especially in Chesterfield, is tie all of our pathways together. So we have the bridge down to Jefferson, along Sugarwood. As you know, there's not an easy way for kids to get down that street. So one of the things we were trying to do is consider a way to get a path from Jefferson to Sugarwood. So purchasing that property along Jefferson gives us access to the back of your property and possibly in the future running a path all the way to Sugarwood. I'm going to give it back to Supervisor Christian if you have any more questions.
It's really conceptually that's just a quick scratch of what the potential is. These are all concepts, and our invite, our presentation here tonight is simply just to begin the conversation, see what partnerships are viable, what works for the Anchor Bay community, school community, and then also what works for Chesterfield and potentially the library. And really that's it. We're just here to introduce that, and hopefully we open some doors and we see where we go with this.
Are there any
Sure.
questions for board members?
So with the shared space option right now, you're looking to do a Parks and Rec, a senior center, and possibly a satellite library?
Yes.
Well, the senior center would be satellite programming, because right now our senior center is packed, so we would do additional programming there. Our senior center would still remain at the main office, but because we have so much senior programming, we would run senior programming out of there, but our senior center would still remain at the office. It would mainly be just leisure services, but the supervisor's point, yeah, we're gonna run senior programming, but we're not moving our senior center.
We're gonna ask you to turn up front, and then we get microphones on them if we're gonna have a conversation.
We run a little over 200 programs, township. Space is obviously one of the areas that limits us.
Can you elaborate on the Parks and Rec programs and senior center programs or programs for seniors?
Elaborate in which fashion. You know, how many programs, how many, so a little over, as I said, a little over 200 programs through Parks and Rec, and then supplemental through the senior. Senior events are daily, and we're limited. We'd like to expand, we'd like to offer more programming. We're we're limited in space. So that, again, this building presents an option, one of many that we're looking at.
Would this be a short-term kind of bridge to when you want to actually do a facility? Because I know, a long time ago, Green School was used for Chesterfield offices, and Lots Crews grew again and wanted the space back again. Of course, they tore it down and built a new one, but in our case, right now, enrollment's fairly flat. We all know, we've seen all these developments occurring that potentially in 5 or 6 years, we may need that space back again. So that would be my only concern, is I can see the gym and the multi-purpose room not being very fully utilized in that building. It would be a good asset. We have a gym in a different area, but I'm just thinking that it wouldn't be a long-term permanent thing, because at least my mind is that potentially maybe that space back as an elementary. So that would be the part of the discussion, I guess.
Tonight, I'd really like to just limit the conversation to the concept of what it could look like. There's a lot of potential. And without, we're here just scratching the surface to see. Obviously, your board has several considerations, as you mentioned, but also my board has several considerations to take into account. So I don't want to commit and say that this is a long-term solution or a short-term solution. Tonight, I really just want to limit it to opening the conversation, making sure that it fits maybe your narrative and it fits our narrative, and then also a partnership that we need to enhance with the library. The library is a big part of this. And obviously, they're a separate entity, they have their own board too. We have a representative here tonight with us, but their board would be a part of this conversation moving forward.
Supervisor Pearson, as far as the option, if we were to entertain the leased shared space, even if it might not end up being permanent, I mean, how long would you, are we talking like a 2-year deal, or, no, we don't want to get into specifics or anything, but because I think there's a lot of opportunities here. I think there's a lot that we can get into, and a lot that I'm thinking big picture as far as when we talk a community rec program between Chesterfield and Baltimore, all of us. And I think that if you really look into it deeper, it would actually help us promote more growth around here, more people to come to the area to have those type of programs. And if we needed another space, we could build another school somewhere else down the line. But that's a bigger conversation. So if we entered into like a couple-year lease to start talking about this, that'd be something you could.
And that's what we're looking for.
So I think that's something we can do with the building right now. We know, and I guess I asked the superintendent, you're comfortable with the space that they had outlined in green and blue?
Yeah, this is beginning the conversation.
Correct.
So that's what
Correct.
in order to, we just wanted to make sure that we were open at that percent. That's why we invited them to present, so that they could kind of talk about what possibilities they see, and then we can look at where we're at as we go through strategic planning, which we are going through right now, and then looking at what works well, so that we can utilize that space the best for the district.
And we did look at just so there were growth potentials, what's in planning, what's in future planning in that area. Those were things that we looked at. So, and I think we did provide some data to you previously, just so you're aware. Again, this is really just to see if we can form that partnership that works, fits your model and fits our model along, hopefully the library.
Is there any building plans for the property that Chesterfield has purchased behind Sugar Bush? Do you guys have any plans?
No, that is committed at this point to Pathways Parks and Rec. And if you go by there, we cleaned out the front edge, trying to create a path. The county's committed to cleaning out the drain which runs behind the middle school back towards Jefferson. That will be done this winter. It's funding, but it's really intended for a pathway connectivity to the Jefferson path and then into the city of Baltimore. And then obviously we have a pretty expansive sidewalk gap program that we're trying to initiate and expand our own township pathways. And that parcel is a big parcel, piece of that.
Yeah, it's always been a problem because it's nice, narrow, but it's long and hard to get access to.
Yes.
We try to utilize back and south.
I gotta change my terminology, I call them sidewalks anymore, they're pathways. And the pathways are wide.
Yeah, it's kind of along that creek, it's been pretty overgrown. So
Yeah.
it's clearing that out. That's. And Chairman, I would think we could, I would suggest that we make a motion authorizing the superintendent to investigate and discuss these potential uses of Sugar Bush building as a board agreement, giving him the authority to do that rather than just have it out there. So that's what I would suggest.
That's your motion.
Well, I'll make a motion. I'd make a motion to authorize the administration, the superintendent to discuss potential usages of Sugar Bush Elementary, lease usages of the sale.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on that motion? All right, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Middlestate, yes. Mrs. Moses.
Yes.
Mr. Whitmire.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Ms. Knox.
Yes.
Mr. Richards.
Yes.
Mr. Drew.
Yes.
Motion passes. Any further questions for Mr. Kirsten?
I guess I just want to clarify that I believe it was a finance committee meeting where initially where this was discussed. So I know I'm stepping on the chairman's toes a little bit here by speaking about it, but this was what we decided as a financing building. Let's get this in front of the board. So to Supervisor Kirsten and to Jankowski's point, there was an invite. We asked this presentation.
And I agree, I'm glad you brought it up, and is to the point of what we said earlier, I mean, to the rest of the board, I guess, and as Superintendent Jankowski worked with them, they did a really in-depth, Mr. Sonnenberg, Supervisor Pearson, and actually the former supervisor, Akbani, came to that finance committee meeting and gave us a real in-depth look at what the possibilities are there and at the growth of what they did major studies of where people are building, where people are coming, the birth rates. And then as far as, I would encourage you to talk to them and to go maybe even into the township and see what they have on the wall, where they see these pathways going and what they see for the future of this area. Because again, that's further down the line of the way I'm looking at it, is this is gonna help our district as a whole. Even if long-term we end up needing another school, this situation looks like a lot of good things, and obviously superintendent and the rest of the administration has to delve into it more. But I think it's something that can be good and bring more people to this area and increase the size of our district. So I want to thank you guys for your work on the front end and bring that over to us just conceptually. But you guys put a lot of work into it, and we appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just so you're aware with what you've done tonight, your position, I'll take back to my board and we'll get seek their approval now and definitely move forward on this collaboration, hopefully along with the library. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. Right, move to part G. Are there any communications to share? We'll move on to the consent agenda, which consists of the approval of minutes from the October 27th strategic plan meeting. I'm sorry, no, it's a regular meeting. And then the strategic planning meeting minutes, and then the personnel report, financial report, and bills payable for October of 21. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of those items?
I'll make the motion.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Let me take a roll to get the financial
Sure.
check roster. So Mr. Moses.
Yes.
Mr. Drew.
Yes.
Ms. Whitmire.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Ms. Knox.
Yes.
Mr. Richards.
Yes.
Mr. Middlestate.
Motion Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. We have a summer tax resolution.
The resolution, the rationale is the summer tax collection. Here, the board considers an ongoing resolution requesting that each city and or township collect the summer tax levy. This will continue from year to year until specifically revoked by the board. Business office is recommending approval of the tax resolution, which provides 50% of the operating millage, which is 9 mils, and 1/2 of the debt recovery millage, which is 5 mils, for the fiscal year 2021-22, be collected in the summer of 2022. This is maintaining the same level as previous years. So the recommended action is the board approve the summer tax collection resolution for the fiscal year 2021-2022, be collected in the summer of 2022.
Is there a motion to accept that recommendation?
I'll make the motion. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
So there's no change that has to be from previous years, then there was some other discussion.
Yeah, no change. Status quo.
Great.
All right, go ahead, call the roll.
Mr. Moses.
Yes.
Mr. Drew.
Yes.
Ms. Workmeyer.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Ms. Knox.
Yes.
Mr. Richards.
Yes.
Mr. Molsted.
Okay, motion passes. We'll move on to board comments. We'll start with Mr. Middlestate.
So we're still gonna put some pride at the end, though, right?
Let's combine them because it ends up just running together anyway. I know we're making it go last today, so everyone else can speak.
So the sheriff, the rest of us.
Give me a minute,
Well, I'll make a general comment. I don't know as much detail the rest of it, just we kind of appreciate everybody in the trenches out there, buildings, doing their jobs. I know I have a better appreciation for what goes in the classroom being involved in the virtual thing last year, so I was half a lot of kids that in the classroom, just they figure out teachers really handle it. I do have, that's my points, pride, so I'll leave it up to the rest of the all the details. My other comments were, our board meetings have been, new business that has not been very much new business in meetings. And I did request that we talk about on the agenda the China and the bond programs. In the previous meetings, we had discussed the China program, whether funded or not. We never really had any motion to exact direct. I thought the impression I had at that time, that when time came that we had to spend some money, that we could sit down and kind of decide what to do on that. So I think I'd like to see that in the agenda. The other one was, we had kind of a panic discussion after the executive session last week on the bond issue, and I know we talked about a bond issue timing. So I think I would really like to see every meeting have this running agenda item for bonds or numbers, so that we have an update every month of what's going on and whether we're hitting those targets. There's several targets we have to get along the way, and I think that'll be good for the public as for transparency to see that we are moving along. If it's in every board meeting, it's important that we should probably get that running. That's my opinion. That's asking them. Negotiations and budget. I looked at Phil and the finance committee about the budget. I know we're still waiting on some of the COVID money, but I'd really like to see, based on the student enrollment and per pupil and all the expenses where we sit here before the COVID money. I don't have a real good feeling kind of where we're at. Maybe we don't either yet because we don't have all the funding yet, but I think once we pay those numbers, we have a better feel for where we're at. That would help negotiations. I don't think we ever came to not having that information, came to some consensus direction we're going. I know we provided lots of information, but I don't think we sat around and said this is what we're going to do. So I would think we could, at our next meeting, we could discuss what sense on negotiations. So I'm just asking that some of these items be included in the agenda so we can talk about it.
All right. Get this before Dennis. So in honor of my fancy shirt tonight, we'll talk about swim. I'm sure one of you guys talk about soccer, they'll get the states too, which was great. And commend them on that season. But the swim team, obviously got this shirt thanks to, I believe it was Miss Markwood and Miss Paul. So good picking out nice stylish people dressing me. So the swim team were the MAC White Division champs, they were the dual meet champs. They had a really good season, and they had some individual accomplishments. And you heard Madison talk about Riley Walsh and Veronica Markwood heading to states this weekend. And not being a swimmer, I have a swim daughter, but that accomplishment is that I know for Veronica and for Riley, it's a culmination of 4 years in swim, and to get that time. I know for Veronica, wasn't there for Riley qualifying, but Veronica, when she came out of the water and everybody in the place knew she got it, all other swimmers from other teams, her parents were there. I mean, it was just a moment as you made a big guy like me cry. So it was cool to see, and wish her luck, wish Riley Walsh luck out there, and just want to honor the seniors that'll be leaving. They carried that team this year. That was Caitlin Barr, Angelina DeMarti, Grace Estefano, I probably had that, Veronica Markwood, Ariana McIntyre, Haley Schmidlin, Brooke Solier, Olivia Stubbs, and Riley Walsh. And just the rest of the team, the underclassmen, they got some really good swimmers, set a lot of cool records. So it was a cool season to watch, and just wanted to give them some props tonight. So I'll end it there and save some for the rest. Thank you. Oh, lastly, I want to thank fellow board member Pat Green for stepping in for me last week at the annual leadership conference. I had some work stuff come up, and he stepped in, and I appreciate that. I agree.
I just like to congratulate everybody that won some. There's a whole bunch of them between football, soccer, cross country. And most importantly, I think our teachers and administrators they're still fighting the battle. Some say this is a year that's been much harder than even the previous years. So I would like to give a shout out to them, all the great work they've done. And our fellow board members, I don't think I've ever seen so much board participation at events. I'm really proud of you guys. Madison, is it Reederman? Reiterman, having on the board with us is fantastic. And Mr. Middlestead, I saw you at the soccer game, the state night. That was awesome. Good to see you there. Oh, yeah.
My next one. I've had a busy couple of weeks. Lashana's, everybody's already talked about, the football, the volleyball, swimming, and soccer. It really is amazing to be part of a large school that's competing for state championships. Something that a lot of schools don't get the opportunity to see or participate in. So it's great to see all those board members out of the games, to see the superintendent out of the games, teachers, our director, secondary ed, I think I heard was at the soccer game, our principal was there. This is the Anchor Bay that I envisioned, 17 years ago when I moved here. Where I came from, quite frankly, the parents that are in their 60s and 70s still go to the home games for that home football team. So that's really what I envision Anchor Bay to be, and I think it's starting to come to fruition. A couple other shout outs. First to the AEA for their event they ran for the Zach Morissette Memorial Scholarship Fund a couple of weeks ago. That was a good time out in Romeo. Also, last weekend I attended with Ms. Knowles, actually, the Anchor Bay Band Boosters event. It was an auction, and it was a nice event held at Zacaros. It's nice to see everybody dressed up and everybody having a good time and raising money for the bands. And then last, to Mr. Drew's point, I did attend the Michigan Association of School Boards Leadership Conference, at least for a couple of days, attended a couple of classes, picked up a little bit of knowledge there. I got to spend some time with our superintendent. which was great. To get a chance to know him more on a personal level than sitting across the board table. So I enjoyed that as well. And I guess lastly, we've already touched on by Mr. Olmstead and Mr. Moses. I appreciate what our teachers are doing, and I see you guys out there. I see our bus drivers and our food service people. I know you guys are tired, and I'm hearing that it's, as Mike mentioned, that this year is worse than last year. I think we've got a learning gap that we brought, the entire country has brought up from last year and a half. And then you guys are doing a phenomenal job. I really believe that. I know our principals are, and I know you guys are all looking forward to having an extended holiday break or a short work week next week, and then obviously going into the holidays. Superintendent Jankowski, you already mentioned our concern about, families all getting together, the virus being bounced around and then being brought back to school. So certainly that's a big enough concern that's been mentioned a couple of times, not only by us, but by the county. So hopefully we make it through and get into roughly, if I can make it till February 1st, that's when I think I'm kind of a little bit clear, because as Christmas comes around, we've got a 2-week break, people travel, families get together, friends get together, celebrate the holidays. I worry about what may pass from family to family. Thank you.
A couple of points of pride we have for our track and field. We have Cora College, made first team All-State. Zach Rubitz, second team All-State for boys. Thomas Westfall, second team All-State for boys. An alumni, Drew Collage, is at Michigan Tech, and he placed 27th at NCAA Midwest Regionals. So our alumni are going out there and still performing. We have Liam Carey, who is one of our football players and was one of our captains this year. He made first team All-County, so that was exciting. Shout out to Miss Breeze and Miss Petron for Cooking Club. I have seen posts about cooking clubs so much on Facebook. The parents are excited, the kids are excited. You can see from when it began that appears the same amount of students are there at the end. I know there's another session. I think registration starts December 6th. So that looks like something really exciting that's happening at the middle school. Fundraisers, like Mr. Green said, we went to dueling pianos for the ADA. That was amazing. The band fundraiser last weekend was also amazing. There's another one this Friday. You can go to the wrestling annual Euchre tournament. It is Friday, November 19th. Starts at 6 p.m. It's registration. You do not have to pay in advance. 7 o'clock card start. It's at the New Baltimore Civic Club. It is $25. It is BYOB. There will be raffles and food. So if you have nothing to do Friday night, come check them out.
I have to do a tasting club also, so maybe I'd like to thank Deputy Fajardo for his time in high school and congratulate him on his promotion to detective. I'd like to congratulate Christina Benatti from Anchor Bay North on being selected as captain of the month in October, which recognizes great staff at Poston North. I'd like to thank all the students at North that participated in the Sailor Stroll Walkathon. Great event, and thank you for attending. I would like to thank all the staff and student clubs that participated in the Baltimore Trick or Treat event. About 1,500 kids attended. It was a little rainy. I'd like to congratulate the members captain of the month at Middle School North, Roxanne Dinge. I'd like to thank the staff and community members that once again came out to join us at the strategic planning meeting. The Anchor Bay High School Child Development and Teacher Cadet Program is sponsoring a diaper and wipe drive from now through December 15th. I'd like to congratulate the varsity soccer team on an incredible season. I'd like to congratulate the varsity football team on a great season as well. And I'd also like to congratulate the varsity volleyball team on a great season. I'd like to congratulate Cora Collage on making it to the state qualifier NHSAA state cross country finals. I would also like to congratulate her on being chosen as a member student athlete of the month. Congratulations to the girls swim and dive team on becoming the league and division champs. Congratulations to divers Riley Walsh, who ranked number 13, and Ariana McIntyre, who ranked number 37 at the regional dive competition. Awesome job. I'd like to say good luck to Veronica Markwood that is headed to the state meet on Friday. And finally, my points of pride. My points of pride this month are the students at Mildred Elementary School that recognized Veterans Day by making a special delivery of letters, cards, street bags to the new Michigan Veterans Home located across the street from the school. Thank you for supporting the Veterans Day. Thank you.
I also got to attend the ABEA fundraiser. It was a really great time. And I know there's been a lot of sports accomplishments and fundraisers going on. There's definitely always something that you can find yourself to do. The one thing I really just wanted to do was highlight an email I received from a parent. The parents wanted to recognize one of the swim captains, Brooke Soulier, for the leadership she brought to the team this season. This was not Brooke's parent. And saying that she led by example. When other team members maybe didn't do as well as they had hoped, she was always by their side, talking, staying with them, helping them regain composure. When another team member had some personal needs, she took her under her wing, found her some assistance. When others took first place or even did better than her at times, she was always on the diving block, clapping, cheering for her fellow teammates. The team made signs for the girls that qualified to swim at divisions. Brooke signed every single sign with words of encouragement, whether they were a freshman or somebody that she's known for years. She was truly everyone's captain, is what this parent shared with me. And I just wanted to share that because I just think that it highlights some of the wonderful students that we have in Anchor Bay and our athletes. And I'm very proud of Brooke for her leadership this season for swim. Okay. And then we did not, we kind of already covered it. Is there any finance committee update? You guys are the only committee that's met. I kind of already touched on it.
Yeah. We have not met since the last meeting, but I would assume we're gonna meet here pretty soon. So we'll have another, hopefully one by the next meeting.
And then any legislative updates?
Nobody around there, hunting/Thanksgiving breaks.
All right.
I just asked a question on that. I've talked to a few of the state reps and they seem to think that supplemental budget isn't gonna be held until next year. How does that affect, that's something, I mean, maybe it's up to the finance committee when we get it, but is that gonna hold up much of the money that we were expecting?
No, what has already been allocated, that's already going to be, especially equalization funds, so that's already in the works. So now they still have, I think it's almost like $10 billion left they have that has to be spent out. My estimation is probably February, March, or that they'll really hit those discussions, and it'll be part of the next budget deal. You'll kind of see that, and they'll allocate all those funds at that time. And those have less restrictions on them because it's really the leftover funds from various different federal funding streams. So they have a lot of flexibility on how they're going to do that. They still have to get approval from the feds, but that they don't have as many of the restrictions as they did for the other ones that were allocated. So it'll make it interesting when they get budgets like.
Yeah, that's what for some reason I was thinking that included the ESSER 3 money, it doesn't include the ESSER 3.
No, that's been.
All right, all we have left is to adjourn. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All